Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2025. I am actually not a New Year's resolution person, if that's even a thing. I don't really care for the idea of the whole New Year, New Me type of thing. It's just another day. It is a new year, but it's never the new year. I mean, age-wise, I think it kind of makes sense. Like, when you turn 20, 30, 40, or 50, it's a new age. You enter into a certain stage of your life, and you might feel like you can step into new ambitions, new resolutions, or whatever. Like, that can be a milestone for many people, but for me, a new year, it's just the same day, the same week. I still gotta go to work. I still gotta jump back into the life. Like nothing's changed. I think many of us have a tendency to use the new year as a reason to start something new. Whether it's eating a certain way, going to the gym, or learning a new language. Anytime we say that, it's just kind of an excuse. Like if I want to start something new, I can just start tomorrow. Or even right now. Like, why wait? I don't think we necessarily need to wait until January 1st for a clean slate. Well, obviously, it is a great time to reflect on the year, period. But the whole new year, new me thing doesn't really come to mind. Although I don't have any super structured plan for the new year, I do have a handful of wishes or intentions that I try to integrate into my daily life. And one of them is managing my internet addiction and developing screen-free activities to prevent me from doom scrolling. Recently, I got into the bad habit of scrolling on my phone aimlessly. It became an inhibiting habit where it would inhibit me from doing certain things because I'll just get into this constant routine of scrolling. And I also caught myself in a usual pattern where I wake up scrolling stuff for an hour. I wake up at 8, but I don't get out of bed until 9. I am particularly guilty about this one because a few months back, I made an episode called 5 Simple Rules to Make Your Mornings Energize. And in the episode, I verbally said, do not check your phone first thing in the morning and get out of bed when the alarm rings. I emphatically elaborated on my rules for phone usage, saying on weekdays, I don't allow myself to check my phone until I leave the house. On weekends, I don't check my phone until I finish breakfast. Well, now as I'm reflecting, I can never feel hypocritical. It's a shame. I mean, it is a shame that I've fallen victim to him again. The whole thing feels like it's backfiring. And honestly, if I'm being brutally honest, I don't necessarily need to check my phone first thing in the morning. Okay? I don't need to check texts. I don't need to check emails. I don't need to check any notifications. They can wait. None of them are truly urgent. So I think that stems from some sort of fear of missing out. You know, the FOMO. You know the anxiety, if you don't check right now, you're gonna miss something huge. But in reality, most of those notifications are just noise designed to hook us. So I definitely want to let go of that and kind of reestablish a certain routine. I want to have some sort of concrete activities or hobbies that keep me off of my phone. I prepared a list of a few different things that you can do instead of doom scrolling on your phone. Now, there's obvious things that you can do instead of doom scrolling. You can read a book, you can go for a walk, all of these things are great and true, but they are obvious. They are too on the nose. Everyone can think of them. They are not exciting enough. Speaking of which, I tried a dopamine detox a while ago, but I ended up failing. It didn't really stick long term because I can just wipe out everything overnight. That's unrealistic because I do want to go on social media sometimes. I do want to online shop sometimes. And I do want to watch YouTube sometimes. I don't want to live in a way where there's no indulgence at all because I don't think that's healthy either, you know? So this time, I am very determined to explore some tactics that work better. Tactics that are more realistic, more simple, and easy to incorporate. So today, I'm gonna walk you through some of my screen-free activities I've come up with. Things that are not only enjoyable, but also help me stay present and productive. So with that being said, let's just hop right on into it. Before we really dive in, let's figure out why you doom scroll. Because I think they will give us a much better understanding and help us navigate the cycle of scrolling. Why do we get caught in doom scrolling? What environment makes us do it? What's the psychology behind it? Let's get into the nitty gritty. Number one, when your phone is in your pocket 24/7, you're more likely to get caught up in doom scrolling. Now, I'm pretty happy with my relationship with my laptop and my iPad. Those are really just for work, for the most part. I don't have to go on social media on those devices. I don't watch as much content or consume as much content on them. I tend to do most of them on my phone. So I'll say our internet addiction mainly exists on the phone. When your phone is in your pocket all the time, it is just so easy to pick it up and scroll, and you end up doing way too much. Like when I'm on the subway, I'm on Instagram. During a bathroom break, I bring my phone. When I'm lying in bed, instead of, reading a book, I'm scrolling through Reels. Even if I have so many things to get done, if my phone is sitting next to me, I can't help but grab it. When it's in your pocket, the thing that's on your body at all times, it's very hard not to go on it all the time. Number two, we tend to take advantage of our phones in a way that compensates for finishing tasks. I don't know if I'm the only one who uses my phone this way, but whenever I'm about to embarking on work, I have some sort of deal with myself where it's like, if you finish this task, you're free. You have the right to go on your phone and indulge in whatever you want. So basically, I motivate myself to get work done so I can go on my phone once I'm done. Well, I don't think that's a bad thing, as long as you hold yourself accountable for doing what you need to do and not procrastinating. That's totally fine. Like, who cares if you overdo it? At least you've done your part, right? But I think it becomes a problem when you put something off and go on your phone. Or when you're spending way too much time doom scrolling. Even if you get something done that you need to get done. Setting a good amount of time for the internet is good, as long as you're disciplined, but wasting too much time doing pointless stuff on the phone is not healthy. When I could reading a books, discovering new hobbies, or pursuing existing hobbies. There's so many more things that I could be doing in my time that would improve me as a person, but also improve my quality of life. So, if possible, I think it'd be great to seek out other activities that are healthy in a way that doesn't rot our brains. And last but not least, when the boredom hits, we are more likely to get engaged in constant doom scrolling. When you have nothing to do, whether you've already finished your tasks or are just putting off what needs to be done, you're bound to grab your phone and scroll aimlessly. I think they really captures the feeling of being sucked in and losing track of time. And sometimes even losing track of your sense of purpose, like scrolling on social media, binge watching random videos that are on your feed, browsing online shops, even if you don't need anything. I think you almost have like an automated response to it. Like you finish your task, you have a little bit of downtime, and it's just like straight to the phone, It's like our brains haven't figured out what to do with downtime yet. I mean, I can help but relate to it because whenever I catch a downtime, more often than not, I can reach to go on my phone to fill the void, Because seemingly, I don't have other options, which is not true at all. Like, there are tons of other options if I'm willing to seek out, but I rarely do that. We are so programmed to constantly be stimulated or be seeking stimulation. And our phones are just easiest target, like the most available, right? It's like a black hole. It is a black hole. I think this is the perfect way to put it, the black hole. Now, let's move on to the main topic, of today's episode, which is screen-free activities ideas that I've came up with. Okay, number 1, carrying around the journal with you. I actually got this hack from a YouTube video that popped up on my feed and I thought it was a legit idea, so I think I'm going to share it with you. So this YouTuber said he always carried around 1 or 2 journals with him. And whenever he felt bored, instead of going to the notes on his phone and getting lost in doom scrolling later, he takes out a notebook and writes something he finds interesting. I think this is a very efficient way that allows me to avoid doom scrolling, replacing the notes on my phone. Because whenever I open the app, like Notes app on my phone, I've experienced multiple times falling into a trap or getting lost in social media apps. So once I learned this hack, I really decided to carry my little notebook pretty much everywhere I go. When I go to bed, I put it on my nightstand. Even when I'm bouncing around my living room, I carry it with me. I keep it on my desk and dining table, like I'm actively trying to adopt this habit. I've never really had a great relationship with journaling, to be honest. I never consider it my cup of tea because, for one, I found phone is much more handy than journal. But for 2, I had this weird pressure. Like, there's a times where I was hyper-focused on writing things aesthetically, you know? I got too caught up in the external appearance of my journal and valued how it looked on the outside more than the internal content, you know? And inevitably, I quickly fell in love with it. But this time, I decided to let go of the things and keep things casually so I can stick to long term. I don't care what my handwriting looks anymore. Like, I don't care to the design on my journal, even if it's too tacky. Like, if there's a marks here and there, who cares? Nobody's gonna see it. I also let go of the fear that the content has to be super organized and super structured. I'm just jotting down things whenever I want, even if they're inconsequential. Like, I write down my grocery list, dinner ideas for the next day, things to buy, places I want to go, things I want to learn. Like, ever since that transition, things have become much more enjoyable. Number 2, going to the gym, exercising, or making any movements that feels right for you. Back on the gym phase is, I think it's one of my best decisions I've ever made in recent months. Like, seriously, I feel so much healthier, stronger, and overall, I feel so much content. Exercise is a lot more than just physical fitness. It can boost our mood, reduce stress, and even act as an antidote to our digital addiction. I feel way less attached to my phone whenever I hit the gym. I mean, if you really think about it, our devices, they are designed to keep us hooked with the notification, the updates, and the constant stream of information. But exercise offers a different kind of engagement. It's a physical. You feel your body move, your heart rate go up, you're pushing your limits, and there's a sense of accomplishment, of mastery that's often missing in the digital world, you know? I find that exercise truly brings us back to ourselves and to the present moment. Number 3, having a moment of boredom. I never thought I'd say this, but having silent moments is surprisingly helpful for curing the overstimulation. I often surrounded myself with reasonable noise to fill the void, whether that's listening to music or podcasts, watching endless YouTube videos, or least of all, staying on the phone for hours and hours and hours and hours. And when you get used to these constant distractions, moments of boredom can feel unbearable, and you might end up seeking them again to fill the void. But sometimes, they don't cut it. They're not distracting enough. And you know what? It gets to a point where it's like maybe silence is the best option. I mean, sure, it would obviously be great to pick up a book, journal, meditate, or do something productive. But hey, we don't always have time to do that. Sometimes we're lazy. Sometimes we're just not in the mood. And sometimes we just don't have the willpower. So I think that's when a moment of boredom might actually come in handy. I always find it miraculous when I do give myself a moment of boredom. in the face of overstimulation, how quickly the moment of reflection makes me feel better. Like we always have things going on our heads that put weight on our shoulders. Whether it's certain dilemmas, unanswered questions we constantly chew on, unresolved feelings with loved ones, or just any other daily challenges taking over our minds. And anytime we take a bit of think and reflect and answer some of those questions, we are able to take weight out of our shoulders. Ask yourself, how often do we really have detox with ourselves? Probably close to zero, especially if you're constantly distracted by the internet. So I find that having a moment of silence and boredom might just be the master key to truly connect to ourselves. Number 4, plan your next trip. Well, first of all, this might seem like a contradiction because when planning a trip, you need to use the internet to research and book things. However, I think there's definitely a way to avoid doom scrolling and still plan effectively if you rely on other sources instead of your phone, such as computer or laptop and iPad, even a book if you prefer. I had this epiphany recently where planning a trip can be a way to productively fill those downtime moments where you normally just mindlessly grab your phone. Instead of just scroll through social media, you can be like daydreaming about your destination, picturing yourself there, building that anticipation. Whenever I feel my focus slipping or I have downtime, I usually start planning my next trip and really deep dive into it. Thinking about my destination, like how long will I stay, what kind of clothes I will need, and even just choosing for a theme for my trip. Like, am I going for a culinary adventure, photography expedition, or am I going for a total relaxation retreat? Like, all the things are really enjoyable and taken to the next level. Once I get fully absorbed in planning, I kind of forget on my phone. You get sucked into this other wall, You're looking at pictures of beaches or mountains or cute cafes and street, whatever you're into. Planning a trip can also have this mood boosting effect. There's actually science to back this up, with studies showing that having something to look forward to, like a trip, can actually reduce stress hormones and increase overall well-being. For me, just knowing that I have something coming up, even if it's months away, really helps me get through those tough weeks. It's like having this mental sunshine. So planning a trip isn't just about the destination. It's about mental vacations you can take right now in the present. Last but not least, do clutter or deep clean. Doing clutter varies from person to person. It can be your closet, organizing your desk or vanity, organizing the pantry, scrubbing the toilet, like whatever it may be. It is a great way to avoid doom scrolling and clear your mind. I tend to religiously go into my closet to do my routine purge. I mean, if you don't have enough time, you can totally do it over the weekends or every month or every 3 months. It doesn't matter. But I just personally prefer this way. So the other day, I had some downtime, but the last thing I wanted to do was scroll my phone. So I went into my closet and purged everything. I narrowed down the stuff that I truly wear. I got rid of stuff that I probably only ever wear once because it's such a statement piece. Got rid of stuff that was too trendy. I got rid of stuff that was too loud or flashy. I got rid of stuff that doesn't fit me right. So I was making some sort of space and only kept things that will truly be sad to lose. I think when it comes to purge your closet, you kind of have to go cold turkey. You really gotta wipe up the naive optimism that one day the pieces of clothing in your closet that you don't wear will come in handy. You gotta keep stuff that you truly wear. Keep stuff that truly matches your vibe and isn't too trendy. Not only can cleaning out your physical space be helpful, you can also organize your schedule. As of now, the main way I organize my schedule is through the calendar app on my phone, so I can easily access it, and the Notion for personal stuff, whether that's for my podcast ideas and travel plans, travel ideas, travel inspirations, study English, writing, or all that jazz. Recently, I went into my calendar, color-coded, and organized it. It was surprisingly satisfying and genuinely helpful for keeping track of everything. I also went over each section of my Notion, sorted everything that had been scattered, and narrowed it down to the bare minimum to make sure there's no distraction or getting lost every time I use it. And honestly, nothing brings me more peace than surrounding myself with a clean, neat, organized physical or digital space. Alright, that's all for today. Everything I shared here is based on my thoughts and my lifestyle, so maybe it will not work perfectly for you. But I at least hope that inspire you to create your own list of things to do when you catch yourself doom scrolling. It's a process. I mean, it is a process. It's not like a perfect switch you can just flip. So, the next time boredom strikes and that hand instinctively reaches for the phone, just pause. Take a breath. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what truly fulfilling activity can I do instead? Maybe it's something creative. Maybe it's something physical. Maybe just connecting with the loved ones. Like, the possibilities are endless. But just remember, breaking free from this black hole of doom scrolling starts with the one conscious choice. That's it for Deep Dive today. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a rating on Apple Spotify. 5 stars will mean so much. New episodes every Thursday, new English episode every month. Check out my Instagram at YEXLINX and check out my podcast at Love Being Alone by Eileen. Hope you're having a great rest of your day and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.